Have you ever felt like your decisions are truly your own? That every choice you make, every path you take, is entirely the result of your free will? The uncomfortable truth is that much of what you believe to be independent thought is actually carefully influenced by forces you barely notice. This isn't science fiction or conspiracy. It's the psychology of manipulation, a silent, invisible system that shapes your perception, desires, and even your identity. From advertising to social norms, from the way people speak to you to the way power structures are built, your mind is constantly being guided, and the most dangerous form of control is the one that makes you believe you're completely free. Today, we'll explore how subtle psychological tactics, social engineering, and invisible power dynamics govern your daily life without you even realizing it. Humans love to believe they are rational beings making conscious decisions, yet studies in behavioral psychology reveal that most choices happen before we are consciously aware of them. Your brain operates like a prediction machine, using past experiences and emotional triggers to make decisions milliseconds before you decide. This means that your feeling of free choice is often an illusion. Advertisers, political strategists, and social media algorithms exploit this by shaping the stimuli your brain receives. When you see a product repeatedly, when a narrative is reinforced in your feed, or when a certain emotion is triggered by content, your choice is already influenced before you consciously think about it. This manipulation isn't always malicious. It's simply how influence works. The real danger lies in the fact that you don't even know it's happening, leaving you defenseless. True freedom starts by recognizing how easily we are programmed. People are emotional creatures first and rational beings second. Emotional manipulation works because the brain prioritizes feelings over facts. Powerful figures, brands, and even loved ones may unconsciously or intentionally exploit this. Emotional triggers such as fear, love, shame, and validation bypass rational thought and push you to act impulsively. Consider how fear is used in politics, how guilt is used in relationships, or how dopamine rewards are built into social media platforms. Every like you receive on a photo or post gives your brain a microdose of dopamine, keeping you hooked like a lab rat, pressing a lever for sugar. Over time, this creates dependency and conformity, shaping not just your behavior but your identity. The manipulation works best when it feels invisible. You think you're making choices, but in reality, someone has already guided your emotions to get the outcome they desire. Social engineering isn't just a hacker's tool, it's a psychological weapon used in everyday life. Humans have an inherent need for belonging, and this makes them highly susceptible to influence. Social pressure, cultural norms, and even subtle body language cues dictate much of what we believe is normal. For instance, the Ash conformity experiments demonstrated that people will often choose a clearly wrong answer simply because everyone else in the group does. Today, this principle extends to social media. When a topic trends, when a celebrity endorses an idea, or when a majority shares a certain belief, individuals often follow because they're convinced, but because the fear of social rejection is stronger than logic. Corporations, influencers, and governments understand this well. They control narratives, set trends, and create social rewards and punishments that steer behavior. The most successful manipulation makes you feel like you're reacting out of your own free will, while you're actually following a script written for you. This is why understanding psychology is essential for reclaiming autonomy. Powerful individuals and institutions often use authority to manipulate behavior. Experiments like Stanley Milgram's obedience studies showed that most people will obey commands, even harmful ones, if they come from an authority figure. This reveals a psychological weakness deeply embedded in human nature, the instinct to trust those in power. This manipulation is everywhere, from corporate hierarchies to educational systems. Titles, uniforms, and status symbols amplify authority, creating a psychological shortcut that says, "Trust this person." Marketers exploit this when they use celebrity endorsements or experts to sell products. Governments exploit it through carefully crafted messaging and propaganda. Even in everyday life, a person's tone of voice, body posture, or attire can subconsciously influence you to comply. Awareness is the first defense. By questioning authority and analyzing why you feel compelled to obey, you begin to regain control over your choices. Blind obedience is the fastest way to give up freedom without realizing it. In today's digital world, manipulation has become more sophisticated. Algorithms know you better than you know yourself. They track your behavior, analyze your emotional state, and feed you content designed to keep you hooked. This is not an accident. Your attention is a commodity, and tech companies profit by keeping you engaged. The algorithms don't just predict your behavior, they shape it. They determine what news you see, what opinions you are exposed to, and what products you're more likely to buy. Over time, this creates a filter bubble, where your worldview becomes narrow and carefully curated. This makes you easier to influence because your environment feels natural, even though it's entirely engineered. The danger is subtle. It's not about a single ad or piece of propaganda. It's about the cumulative effect of years of small nudges that push you toward certain beliefs, products, and behaviors. The system doesn't need to convince you, it only needs to control what you see long enough for you to think your decisions are your own. To regain freedom, you must actively seek alternative perspectives, question narratives, and disconnect from the constant dopamine-driven cycle. The battle for your mind is not fought with weapons, but with carefully chosen words, images, and algorithms. Escaping manipulation is not about rejecting all influences, about becoming conscious of it. Start by developing self-awareness. Journaling your emotions and reactions can reveal patterns in your behavior that others exploit. Next, practice skepticism. Question why you feel a certain way about an issue or product. Who benefits from your belief? Set boundaries. Limit your exposure to manipulative environments, whether they're toxic relationships, social media feeds, or sensationalist news outlets. Study psychology, persuasion, and propaganda so you can recognize the tactics being used against you. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see the strings that were once invisible. Finally, embrace solitude and independent thought. Great philosophers, leaders, and innovators often spend time away from the crowd because independence of mind requires stepping outside the echo chamber. Freedom is not given, it's earned by those who are willing to challenge their programming. The choice is yours. Remain a puppet or become the puppeteer of your own mind. The greatest manipulation is the one you don't see. It's not the obvious scam or blatant propaganda. It's the slow, invisible conditioning that makes you believe you are free while quietly shaping your every move. Most people will never escape this invisible prison because it feels comfortable. They'll defend their illusions because questioning them feels dangerous. But for those brave enough to open their eyes, there is power. Knowledge of manipulation allows you to navigate a world full of influence without losing yourself. By becoming aware, questioning authority, and reclaiming control over your own mind, you stop being a pawn in someone else's game. Remember this: you cannot stop manipulation entirely, but you can learn to see it. And the moment you see it, it loses much of its power. Awareness is freedom's first step, and once you take it, you'll never see the world the same way again.